Hey everybody, just a quick message from Bald and Bonkers Network. We would like to remind everybody that certain topics of discussion may not be comfortable for all listeners. Certain viewpoints may not reflect those of our partners, sponsors, affiliates, our hosts, or that of our guests. We would like to encourage everybody to keep a respectful and open climate of discussion for all topics, no matter how disturbing they may be. So viewer discretion is advised.
You know this world has gone insane. It is absolutely no secret. But tonight, Saturday night, you are about to experience the true measures of what that insanity can bring you. Tonight, you are about to see Bald and Bonkers, the one-of-a-kind show that delves deep into the world with no holds barred. Now, meet your hosts, Dakota Franson, specialist of the strange, and Christopher Mule, the UFO fanatic. Now, give it up, and let's see what these two idiots can bring you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce I'm looking for a new co-host. Anybody that wants the job, you know, I'm getting a replacement. Change that back. You can reach me.
All right. Well,
So,
arms.
ladies and gentlemen, we were meant to have a guest tonight, and he never turned up. Don't take Christina. Just put Chris. It means I need to move my mic arm, you know, to reach the keyboard.
All right,
You know,
all right.
see that when people don't turn up. Do you not find that very annoying when people don't turn up?
He did mention that he did have a wedding he was attending, so
that's no excuse.
Nice. I know. You make a commitment, you try to make it through, or at least cancel in advance. You know, it's just professional. You know what? Life happens. No worries. There's plenty of weird stuff been going on in the world lately, so we two idiots have blocked is fine.
We've got quite a lot to talk about tonight anyway. It's not as if we've not got anything to talk about. I mean, Dakota's in his new abode. Look at him. He's sitting there. He's all handsome and a lovely different background, you know. I'm just saying that for you, just in case there's some ladies out there, you know. Just ignore me if I went bad, ladies and gentlemen. What?
I don't know if you want to be saying too much about the ladies that come here. Anyway.
Well, I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We were looking forward to our interview tonight, but we obviously didn't turn up. We have a brilliant show lined up tomorrow. We have Moonblade coming on, don't we?
Yes, we have someone who has been given high praise from our dear friend Lisa Fry. So we've heard so much about him. He seems like a cool guy. Tomorrow we're going to put that to the test and see what all sorts of insanity comes about.
Yeah. So I think there'll be some insanity tomorrow night. I mean, there's some insanity right now. So what's the first mad thing that's going on in the world right now, Dakota? What's the mad, crazy thing? Do you want to talk about Loch Ness first?
That's okay. Gilbert, did you hear about the latest big Loch Ness news?
No.
Okay, I should clarify. There's been a couple of things since this one came about.
But you got to remember, right? I know for a fact I'm Scottish. You can probably tell, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm Scottish. I've been to Loch Ness and I have seen the tourists there. All the Americans with their brightly coloured shirts on and their cameras around their necks and stuff like that, wanting to see Nessie. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I've been there and I have seen it, right, firsthand. And you know what people are like when they see something out in the loch. When they're out there, you think, what could that be? Could it be a man on a rowing boat? No, it's Nessie! You know? You're doing a bit of freezing there. Is that new kind of like Michael Jackson kind of like dancing?
I was freezing up there for a second, but
Well, that's the CIA. They're tapping into your communication band. You know, they want to see what us guys are talking about. But anyway, when you go to Dakota, I was just telling everybody what American tourists look
I know,
like.
I know. Yeah, raving on about the idiot tourists, and thanks
Well,
for that, asshole.
I know. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Because some of you who may know, and I've noticed we got a few new people that have been popping in. I am actually listed in the Loch Ness registry for my own site when I went there for vacation. Very fun time. Did end up doing a brief appearance on National Geographic because of it. So because of that, Scotland gets counted as my favorite trip. But it does. There's been a couple bits of news that's come about. First, being the discovery of a new type of plesiosaur that automatically people are assuming to be related to Nessie.
It might be a relation off its holiday somewhere, and they might have seen it somewhere else.
Maybe, maybe the plesiosaurs over thousands and thousands of years lost that big chunky body and just became nothing but that long neck and became eels.
Yeah.
But anyway, unfortunately, the geological maps don't exactly line up for the plesiosaur to somehow snuck into Loch Ness. By the time the plesiosaur is believed to be alive, Loch Ness was nothing but a big ice cube.
Yes, it was. It had a lot of ice above it. That's what. See, a lot of people don't realise that's how Scotland got all its lochs and all its mountains. Glaciers, ice age. When a lot of the deepest lochs in Scotland are actually caused by glaciers carving out the ground, retreating. And if you ever noticed in Scotland, you'll find that when you dig down a certain depth, you'll find a lot of very small stones. Right, this is quite interesting, and these little stones are actually left from the ice age because there would be a big stone, and the ice would grind it up and polish it into small little round rocks, and that's how they became about. It's kind of a subject at the school I liked actually. I'm into, but that's how a lot of the deepest lochs in Scotland became freshwater lochs, because a lot of them are like, some of them are sea, some of them have got like salt water in them because they're close to the sea, but a lot of them are freshwater lochs. But they're very deep, very, very deep. So there you go.
Very true. Very true. But now, here's the bit I wanted to talk about. Wow. It kind of goes into Chris's little remarks earlier about idiot tourists not knowing what the hell they're talking about. This was a image taken from an article on the Mirror. Now, I would like to see what the chat would think about this. Kind of an interesting shot. Right there on the beaches.
Hey, it's on the loch. The loch. Remember when you're saying loch?
I gotta admit, the neck of it kind of does look like the sturgeon photo. A little black and white one where you see just a little, what looks like an elephant trunk sticking out.
I will admit to you, it does look like Nessie, right? I will admit to you, all the postcards I've ever seen, it does give that kind of aspect to it. I can, though, tell it's quite close to shore, so it is quite shallow. Right? Obviously, I know what it is because I know the story. But people in the chat, what's your opinion on this picture? Don't be shy.
No, I'm genuine. No, it's a real photo. It's a real photo.
Real.
But this is why. But this is. I'm going to say this. This is why people really need to be careful and not jump to conclusions when it deals with anything under the supernatural umbrella.
Yes.
So, any theories on what this may be, ladies and gents?
Come on, ladies and gents, in the chat. Facebook. Welcome, Facebook listeners. Welcome, YouTube listeners. Everybody, come on. What do you think this is in Loch Ness? I'll give you a clue. It is living. It is a creature of some kind. But what is it? What strange creature creeps in the loch? Remember, see, when you're saying loch, as if you're bringing up phlegm, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna take a shot. Come on, don't be shy.
Come on. Sherry says Nessie.
Sherry saying
PWI, but it's no
Oh,
Nessie, right? What is it?
oh,
Come on, it's a
Sherry.
creature. Sherry,
Oh,
come on. Oh,
It's
come
a
on.
creature. It's a real creature.
It's a real creature, and you can see there's quite a few of them about, but you have to go to a boat by the
A boat by
It's
the
a deer.
Vikings. It's a little exotic there.
A little exotic. I'll give you that one.
All right,
Bit
all right,
exotic.
all right. Now we got some people stepping up. All right, all right.
Dobie
Well, I
sock. She says it's a deer. Well, she's very close.
Oh.
Very close.
Look who decided to just show up.
Very close. Nate, I felt he's
it doesn't look like
just
he's
showing up.
Well, here's the guest that
He
we
doesn't
thought
have a
was a
very good signal
no-show.
either.
No, I had a yard sale and had a wedding and just kind of been rushing.
Oh, man.
And now I'm outside grilling, so I'm here though.
All right. Well, we're starting the show. We kind of started the show without you, brother.
I apologize, guys. Like I said, man.
No problem. No problem.
it happens, man.
We're actually, I tell you what, Nate, what do you think this picture is? It was in Loch Ness. Show him the picture and tell him what do you think this is?
Because
we're on the subject.
We'll found Nathan through TikTok, and he's real big about going in and debunking photos and videos and things like that. So maybe you've seen a little something about this. This was out of Scotland. Recent alleged Nessie sighting. What are your thoughts on it, brother?
That's interesting. So I kind of feel, if you look at the mountain in the background, honestly say that that's going to be possibly a toy that someone has put in and zoomed in on the toy. It's all about perspective and scope when it comes to photographs like that. You could take something very small and you put it into a bigger area, and if you zoom in just correctly, you can make that object appear 10 times bigger than what it actually is.
Well, Well, Chris, would you say that, if I'm not mistaken, with a lot of the shorelines in Loch Ness, if I remember correctly, our tour guide explained basically be careful if you go swimming because it may seem shallow for a certain point, but then you get to a certain point, like say, I think it was like 10 feet out, it just drops.
Well, Loch Ness, it's in different parts, but there is parts of Loch Ness where you could walk out maybe 6 or 7 feet and then it will drop about 200 feet.
Nobody.
Yeah. So
there's Samantha Barker. She says,
Photoshop.
It's no a Photoshop. It's actually a real creature, but what is it?
Oh, my son wants to say hi.
Hey, hi. What's up, little dude?
Hello, little guy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Coming and asking who am I talking to, but yeah, I do know that Loch Ness, that has a habit of being certain spots that just drop, and it's very deep. It's a very deep lake. Its visibility is not that great, from my understanding, when you're under the water.
Mm-hmm.
So the difficulty of being able to find anything there would be, it's going to be hard, but the lake is definitely big enough to support something there. My question would be, would there be enough food source?
Oh yeah,
very true.
It's
very true.
Rich in fish, though. I mean, the loch is very rich in fish.
Oh yeah,
I know people that fish there.
Which is why a lot of the major theories right now, and this is being supported by somewhat grainy video footage, but there's not much you can do that because of how much sediment is in that lake, as well as DNA samples that support that Nessie sightings will likely be an eel. And here, Kelly Drew says infrared should be able to spot it. No, the infrared would actually reflect a lot of the sediment and make it.
Yeah, you're not going to see anything under that water in infrared.
No. But this is actually a funny story.
Everywhere.
Oh,
it's actually quite a funny story. This Dakota, because when you go,
Scotland has been dealing with a bit of a heat wave.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and post the article in the chat now. This photo was from a pack of alpacas that decided to break free and go swimming.
You know what? Yeah. That would make sense. But
no, that's what it is. That is what it is.
You
see the alpaca walking out of the water.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know that they come in darker colors. I've never seen an alpaca that color before.
Oh,
Yeah. There is an I looked it up really quickly when you were doing. There is an alpaca farm right next to Loch Ness.
There is.
Like-
And apparently they were getting hot and decided to go swimming. Can't say I blame them.
You know what? I don't blame them. I would have went swimming today if I had a pool. Trust me. So we're
I
doing
would
that.
have went swimming there. I mean, it's 40 Celsius here.
92 degrees out, like 92 degrees Fahrenheit. It absolutely sucked.
It was warmer. It was actually, I think it was 40 Celsius at Loch Ness when that was took. I don't know what that is in American.
That's almost 100 degrees.
Yeah,
It's
roughly
over 100.
about.
Yeah. So,
That's
so you think about how warm that is. I mean, and they're covered in wool.
yeah. I would have went for a swim too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because Loch Ness doesn't it stay like 30 Celsius all year round?
Well, Scotland, it's
The water
Scotland.
itself,
This is very unusual for Scotland. This weather. Let's put it that way. This is very unusual weather. We shouldn't have go.
Anything
hot weather
except
with us.
constant rain is weird weather to you
I know.
people.
I know. I mean, we've actually got a few other pictures there. Nate, would you like to see them?
Absolutely.
What's your thoughts on this UFO picture that was took? Do you want to bring it up?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Yeah,
What's
should
the
we
story
bring
on
up
that?
yeah, let's bring this one up. The infamous Caroline photo that's been hitting the headlines lately.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Nat, I'm on my podcast. I'm going right now. Just grab your drink. But yeah, I can honestly say I've not seen that photo before.
Really?
So what is
you
this?
know it?
A UFO of some type?
Yep.
Supposed to be some sort of aircraft that was taken back in 1990, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually caught in Scotland, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it was caught up in the Highlands of Scotland. See, this is where a lot of people are saying that is it an island and is that the reflection of an aircraft or a boat in the water? But it's very, very calm. Very calm in the seas around Scotland don't get calm like that. You need to be extremely lucky, right?
It's
I mean,
yeah, that's interesting.
the black and white pictures there, the original pictures. Let's see if we can find that. Is where is that, Dakota?
So
Is that is the original black and white one?
My curiosity here would be slightly below that to the right. Is that what looks like a fish, or is that an airplane?
It's meant to be a
Allegedly, that's an
Harrier
airplane
jump
chasing
jet.
it.
Yeah.
Scale
It's
the
ma- yeah,
perspective
it's-
is difficult to tell because you really don't have any kind of landscape to base that off of.
Yeah, that's been the
Well-
kind of the debate, real.
See that this
mean,
is the problem.
Given at the picture as a whole from face value, that definitely looks like an object that is bigger than what's behind it.
Yes.
But without having any form of trees or anything like that for scaling, it's really difficult to make a size assessment.
See, that's the problem. I mean, I could this is what I think, right? And I've seen things like this. You get Loch Lomond up here in Scotland, which is Goat Island's exactly the same as that, right? And I've seen the water like mirror perfect, right? Now, I'm wondering maybe there was a plane flying over, right? And that was the island, and that was the reflection for the water.
You know what? Considering how still you're saying that the water is there, that is very possible. Especially if it was a nice clear day.
But then it makes you wonder. Is it as big as you think it is? Is it big? Is it maybe smaller than what it actually is?
True.
And it's just been zoomed up on. So in theory, it could be the size of a small car. But in theory, you see where I'm trying to go here. I mean, there's a image that people have actually put. Like, here's an image here where people have actually put hills in the background, right? So this is computer generated, obviously, and this is what they think it looks like, right? Right. But here is a photo where it's obviously the contrast and the colour and everything's been taken out at. You can clearly see that is a jet of some kind. They say it's a Harrier jump jet,
sure.
which would be perfect for round about the time, because in the early 90s, Scotland was famous for the Harrier jump jets practicing, right? That is where they trained. But I will say this, Harrier jump jets always practice in glens and over lochs, right? Which makes me wonder, is that an island?
Okay, buddy, you go get your grasshopper. Sorry, my son was talking to me. But no, it definitely would make sense if they practice that much over the lochs and lakes, that could very plausibly be a reflection.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, I want to show you my question.
What's that up at the top, Dakota? I see at the very top it. There's like a mark on the.
No, that is actually.
You see that?
Part of this is actually image is actually cropped out. That is actually some leaves from a burnt tree that looks like it's hanging over the actual photographer, trying to get the photo up now, but it is not. It is not wanting to let me for some odd reason.
Send it to me through Facebook, and I'll put it up. Yeah.
Near the center at the top left, there was something just barely coming in the screen, but we couldn't really tell what it was, or I couldn't, anyways.
I mean, you can see it just above the ship to the
Right,
left, whatever it is. Yeah. It's.
All right, let's see if that'll work. All right. So this gentleman is retired Air Force officer Craig Lindsay, with a copy of one of the original pictures taken. Now, allegedly, this photo was actually not supposed to be released due to alleged privacy concerns for about another 30 years.
Right, I'm going to do a quick Photoshop hang here of this.
That's interesting.
It's quite interesting that, I mean, it's...
Is that a fence at the bottom? Is that what that is?
Hey.
It's a barbed wire fence.
No, I wanted you to tie that.
Let's have a look.
That's interesting. Is there barbed wire fences around the loch? I'm going to be honest with you. I know about loch, but I don't know the area because I've never been.
I don't know where this was took in Scotland. That's the problem. It might have been took near that is the problem. So if it was took in the Highlands, it could be anywhere. That's the problem.
Okay.
It was meant to be the Highlands somewhere. I'm just going to send this to you, Dakota. I've just done a quick Photoshop thing here. See if you can upload that for me. I've not got my phone connected to my laptop, so I can't do it now. See if you can put that up.
Hold on.
That's quite interesting. That is, because I've zoomed I've zoomed the image right up for people to see it.
Wait, I think I saw something.
Here, Chris,
I mean,
being the local Scotsman, you're going to probably recognize this a little better than us Americans.
Ooh, right. That's the that's
the
Loch
top
Lomond.
here.
Yeah, that's right.
The top here is Calvine, where this photo was taken.
Right, that's near Dundee. That's near Dundee. You've got to the right hand side of the map is Dundee. That's just outside Oban. I would say, right, at Dundee. Well, what's the name of that loch? It's got a name. Wait, I'll get the name for you right now. I can't remember that is. Just give me 2 secs. You got my Google Maps.
See, Dobby makes a good point here. If you look from the fence line, it looks like if it's a small island and it's a reflection. That's kind of the big debate, and one of the little theories getting tossed around right now is that the alleged aircraft chasing it is actually a person in a rowboat.
You know, I can almost see that.
Yeah, no, there's even that little discoloration right there where towards the bottom you see...
Yeah, you can see what would look like a door.
then towards the top, you see what you would expect human skin to look like.
Can you bring up the one with the map again, please? Just so I can pinpoint this.
Calvine.
Right, so you've got Dundee, the bit with the blue writing that's Dundee, the Firth, Perth, the Loch there.
Between the A9 road and the Highland Mainland Railway.
Loch Rannoch. See the long rock at the very top, the very long bit. That's Loch Rannoch. So I got Loch Rannoch for you Americans. It's I can speak it, but obviously Dobie will know what I'm talking about. She's Scottish. Loch Rannoch. The Bridge of Gour is there. That's exactly that. Do you know something?
Nowhere near as fun as people think it is.
See, I'll tell you something now. That is very popular, that area for aircraft training.
So it could very well be.
Military, yeah. Where's this one here? Let's go back to this one I sent you. This is quite interesting. What's your thoughts on this, ladies and gentlemen?
Didn't exactly come through at the best quality. And we lost Nate.
That's the CIA. We'll blame them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's had some good signal this entire time.
That's
right.
Quite interesting. What's your thought on that, Nate? What's your thoughts?
I completely missed that whole section right there because my mic stopped working, so did my cam.
Oh.
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what happened there, but I was listening and then it stopped. The noise stopped, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, that actually happens a lot with us whenever we talk about UFOs.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's our lovely governments of the world. They don't like certain things getting talked about.
Yeah, because I was having no issues with Mike. I was having no issues with Cam until you started to do some kind of breakdown there, and then just everything froze on me.
Yeah. My screens just went all weird. That's crazy.
So like I said, this photo is definitely not supposed to leak for another 30 years.
Yeah. Oh, as he goes again. Hey, Mike, the Naked Bigfoot. Good to see you, my friend, in the chat.
All
right, looks like we got him back. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. You guys disappeared on me too. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it's because we're talking about. It's because we're talking about UFOs. I tell you what, let's get off the UFO subject. So Nate, tell us, how did you get into this subject of the paranormal and supernatural?
So, I had always had an interest from a young age. One of the first books that I ever checked out in middle school was a book called 13 Alabama Ghosts in Jeffrey. And, I actually ended up reading the whole series. I've always had an interest. However, when I was about 17, I had an incident in my house where something was bothering me whenever I tried to go to bed. I would hear scratching on my bed, tugging on my blankets. I would close the closet door. I'd wake up and the closet door would be wide open. I would hear dogs barking, although my dog had already passed several months before this. So it was really, really strange occurrences. And what got me into actually investigating was I was at this time married, and we were living in a small town called Clayhatchee. And I fell asleep one night. I used to work night shift. I'd get home at about 2 a.m. and I fell asleep. And I woke up to this feeling of not being able to move. You know, other people refer to it as sleep paralysis. My typical encounter would be what's called an old hag attack, where I woke up and there was a figure standing over me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. And by the time I was finally able to shake it off, the figure went from me to the foot of the bed and then drifted backwards down our hallway. The really odd thing about it was when the figure disappeared, the light bulb in the hallway exploded.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that was just disappearing or something occurred that made that explode, and I've never seen that before on any investigation in my 16 years, and I've never encountered anything like it since.
Wow. That is interesting, though. I mean, the light bulb popping. I've never actually ever seen that. I mean, I've seen it in movies and stuff like that, but the light bulb's popping.
And I have seen it in movies before, but I have never personally until then seen it in.
And what else have you experienced in your paranormal life? Have you what other
So
kind of things?
I have been to a lot of places in my 16 years. I have been to the slaughter furnaces in Birmingham, Alabama. I have
Right.
been to the St. Augustine Lighthouse in St. Augustine,
Right.
Fort Kansas, the Castillo de San Marcos, which is the oldest Spanish American fort in the United States. Absolutely loved that place. I've been to the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast where the Lizzie Borden murders happened.
Right.
And amazing, amazing places. However, the most famous place that I've been to didn't even give me my best experience. My best experience came from a place that no one even knows about. It's a local place in Alabama in a town called Elba. It's a really small town. If you were driving your car and you blinked, you drove right through the town and didn't even know it was there. It's so small. So they have an old, I guess you could call it city jail. It wasn't really a county jail, but it held 89 people in a bullpen style setup. So
Yeah.
in 1974, Sheriff Neil Grantham released a prisoner, and that prisoner in turn came back the following day and shot him to death on the front step.
Wow.
So
Right.
3 weeks after, there was an inmate smoking a cigarette. He fell asleep, and he ended up catching fire and burning to death in his bunk. We
Right,
went
That's horrific.
we went to the place off of the assessment from the Chamber of Commerce and the Historical Society for the town. They want us to come in and check it out because they're running an actual haunted attraction there. In this haunted attraction, the people were claiming that they were seeing actors that weren't actors because they weren't even there.
Oh yeah.
They would see them walk down the hallway, they would disappear and such. So we went in. There was one solitary confinement cell. Stop, Jameson. Sorry, guys. There was one solitary confinement cell in the whole facility. It took 4 of us to open and a crowbar and about 2 cans of WD-40 because it hadn't been opened. They left it shut.
Yeah.
By the time we got it open, and I went in there doing some audio work, I was in there maybe 20 minutes, and the cell door that had just taken all of us to open slammed shut by itself, and I was stuck in there for over an hour.
Oh dear God.
Oh, bitch.
That
Somebody wanted to keep you.
The odd thing about that was I left my recorder and all that stuff running the whole time. We had a camera on that door. The camera stopped right before the cell door shut, and my audio recorder lost all of its battery, so I couldn't even record while I was in there.
Oh my God. That's a location for you to go. I will have to take you in and lock you in the cell. You know?
Why am I the Aaron Goodwin of the group? My God.
If I still live in that area, I would go back again in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, I don't live in that area anymore. That's down in Alabama. I now reside in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's completely opposite side of the seaboard.
So, what other type of experiences have you? I take it this is a ghost hunting team you've got. What's the name of the ghost hunting team?
So I have 2 of them actually. I have the Southeastern Ghost Research Association in Alabama, which is a more of a team that does consults now. We don't actually do investigations because I no longer reside in that area. But I do have people that will listen to other people's problems, and we do referral teams in the area that I trust that would take it over and handle it correctly, because we typically deal with residential cases. We don't necessarily do big famous locations. We do them on occasion for fun, but our main serious thing is we do residential stuff. And up here in New Hampshire, I have the Newport Paranormal Society.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about them? What are they like?
So we do pretty much the same thing. You know, we do the residential stuff, but here recently I've cut the team back. I don't accept members outside of the family. So right now it's a family run, which actually makes it a little bit easier for us, because the more people you have, the more plausibility you have of contaminating any kind of evidence you may catch. So the smaller the team, in all honesty, the more accurate your evidence is going to be, because you know where people are, you know what they're doing, and it makes it 10 times easier to sit down and you go through audio and you catch a voice. You're like, yeah, I know these people's voices. That's none of them.
Right. So what kind of paranormal entities have you caught on tape or caught on picture? What kind of paranormal entities have you?
There's a weird occurrence. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not, but it's called cemetery. They're very similar to, I guess, what people call orb photographs. The only difference between orb photographs and cemetery lights is I actually believe cemetery lights exist. Orb photographs are 2 too easy to explain if you know what you're looking for.
Yes.
So cemetery lights. I've taken pictures of a cemetery that's completely dark, no street lights, and saw hundreds of little lights over the tops of the cemetery stones. Don't know what causes
Really,
it. Go ahead.
that's very interesting. That's very interesting. That that's very. I've heard that. Yeah.
And in those types of locations, I typically don't use flash because, let's face it, the granite of a gravestone can be very reflective. It can cause all kinds of manner of havoc when you take photographs. So when I'm taking those photographs, I don't use flash. So for these lights to appear above the cemetery is very, very odd to me. It's hot out here. So, another one of my favorite photographs, and I could probably actually send this to you on Twitter or whatever. I have no issue doing that. We were at a cemetery, and I caught an apparition of what looks to be a woman in period dress, kind of halfway. And the reason why I say this is most likely a spirit is because it looks like it's half there, half not. It's not solid. I wasn't using slow shutter speed, so it wasn't somebody just walking through frame that happened to be halfway caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting photo. And then I've got another photo from a investigation that I did almost 6-7 years ago now. And I caught what looks to be a woman in a nurse's uniform, like an old 40 or 50 style nurse's uniform, standing in a doorway.
That is so interesting, isn't it, Dakota? I mean, that's just. I mean, Dakota, would you like to ask some questions, my friend?
So, I'm found you through TikTok, and with a lot of your videos, I honestly respect this a lot. And if he hears anything,
I think it's internet.
So it's kind of weird. When it comes to, as I was saying, I don't know if you heard it or not, but when it comes to video, I've not really caught much on video. I'm very video evidence because explained away.
Oh.
So, say you go to a lot of doors, you're no way. You're putting yourself.
He's breaking up a bit, isn't he? You're breaking up, Nate. You're breaking up on his.
Yeah, your mic's cut now.
Hang on 1 second. Let's try this.
Nope. He'll be back shortly, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you hear me now?
All right, I think we got you now.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just reset the mic and cam to see if that would help. So
get closer to the internet router.
So it's kind of weird because I don't. Not saying I don't trust video, but I feel like a lot of it can be explained away if you know what you're looking for. As paranormal investigators, we take ourselves and we put ourselves in environments that cannot be controlled. I mean, you got wind factors, you got age, you got just movement, general settling of the actual location. Yeah. So if you know what you're looking for, a lot of the video stuff that you catch can be explained away. The only piece of video that I think I've ever caught and that I would consider to be credible would be at a private residence. So I can't really discuss, the people or anything.
Well, yeah,
but
of course.
But at a private residence, I caught a ladder that picked up and spun on its own.
Okay.
You can't really explain that.
Well, no. That's an unusual one.
One hell of a windstorm. That's about all I can think of.
Right?
Yeah.
So, it actually lifted up and it shifted and sat back down, like it was standing right back up. So what I did was I went back to the location and I tried to prove that it was not a trick of the camera. Maybe it was the lighting. Maybe it was the way I was moving or walking around the actual ladder. I could not get this to recreate.
That's just absolutely crazy. Dakota, would you like to ask him the question you were going to ask him before his internet broke up?
Let's see if the connection will let me. So, a lot of what you do when it comes to TikTok is debunking a lot of the videos, which is something I honestly respect because of way too many people take those too literally. What inspired you to start doing that?
So it was kind of like a two-layer thing. I originally started it on YouTube after watching an episode of Paranormal Caught on Camera. And I watched the episode and I was like, I could explain away 3 or 4 of these videos that these quote-unquote experts just said were paranormal. So I made a quick YouTube video about one of them. It didn't really take off. I think to this day it has like 9 views, something like that.
Yeah.
But I went to TikTok, and everyone was like, if you're going to do that kind of content, TikTok's the place to do it. So I went to TikTok, and I was scrolling through and seeing all these different videos, and I'm like, my God, these are horrible. People are believing these? And so just randomly one day, my daughter says, well, Dad, if you can prove that they're not real, prove it. Break it down. Show them. And so that's what I started doing.
What's your name on TikTok so as all our lovely subscribers can go and give you a
my name
sub?
on TikTok is Static Voices.
Right. So, ladies and
Sounds
gentlemen,
kind of
the link is in the chat. Dakota's posted the link in the chat. Please go. I'm just going to click on it now and give you a wee subscribe while I'm here.
I thought you already did, Christopher.
All right.
No, that was YouTube. That was his YouTube channel. That was his YouTube channel, I'm afraid.
So, really odd thing. I actually went closer to the router cut out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's maybe just the device I'm shooting it from, which it shouldn't be. It's a 13 Pro, so it's an iPhone 13 Pro, so I shouldn't be having problems there.
Yeah.
But
that's Mr. iPhone over here.
What do you mean? I've got an iPhone too. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having an iPhone? See that's you know what it is, Nate. He's a Samsung owner. You know what it is? He's an Android owner.
I was until I had the iPhone 13 Pro. All I ever owned was Samsung, so I get it.
Yeah.
Well, iPhone breaks too easy for me. So.
Oh no, no the new one. No the new one.
That's why I have Gorilla Glass on mine and a very sturdy case.
See, I'm the same. I'm going to show you my case. I've got a life-proof case in mine.
Life-proof, way to go. Life-proof for Autobox, way to go. Especially if you have an iPhone.
Yeah, and especially if you like doing ghost hunting at night and you're creeping about dark places and you might drop your phone.
Oh, let me tell you, I had a Galaxy. What was it? Sky J Pro or something like that. I had bought it really quick because I broke my other one, and I went to Walmart and they had one. I was like, okay, well, I'm similar with the setup of this phone. I had the thing maybe 2 days, and we were out doing an investigation, and it fell out of my pocket, and I kicked it, and I had steel-toed boots on.
Oh.
Shattered the screen.
Ooh.
Oh, the poor Samsung. The poor little...
Yeah, it's really weird, too, because I have kicked EMF detectors across the room on accident and not had them break as quickly as that thing did.
Well, that's actually a question I've just got for you. What's your favourite piece of ghost hunting technology out there?
To be honest with you, as far as ghost hunting technology goes, you have to think about it in a more logical aspect. The way I would feel better, I guess you could say, equipped to answer that question would be, which piece would I trust? Because everything that we do is a pseudoscience. You can't take anything that we do, put it into a controlled environment, and recreate these circumstances to a perfect, repeatable response. So, would I trust, say, a REM pod? You know what? I would trust a REM pod if a radio didn't set off the REM pod from 40 feet away. So I feel like there's multiple different aspects here. If I were to say that I had a favorite piece of equipment that I would like to use, it's typically my voice recorder because it's trusty.
Yeah.
I've had it since I started investigating. It's my original voice recorder. I love it. It's old, but it works great.
Yeah. That is the problem. There is a lot of technology out there, and Dakota probably agree. There is a lot of technology out there that looks good, but then again, it's like some apps. There's some certain apps that are out there that I don't trust one bit because it's who's made them. And what's your thoughts on this, Dakota, technology-wise?
There's a lot of people who put way too much faith in it.
So on my YouTube, I actually test and debunk paranormal applications as well. That's the main focus of my YouTube channel is I download and test paranormal applications. I have found a few that I will say actually are decent. But then a majority of them, like Digital Dowsing. Digital Dowsing is a great company. You know, it's run by Bill Chappell. It's a great company. Digital Dowsing makes a few decent applications. The iObelisk, I like it. It's a great application. There's another application simply titled Ghost Hunting Tools. I used that at Medfield State Asylum here in Medfield, Massachusetts, and I got six or eight, it was something along those lines, names that I was actually able to trace back from the application to the facility as far as people that worked there or people that died in the facility.
That's good. I mean, there's obviously there's the Ghost Boxes apps that you can get, like the Necrophonic, right? I actually thought that was great, and then I found out who made it, and then that totally changed. And then I thought, oh no, it's him that's made it. And then I just turn it off my phone because then I couldn't really.
And I kind of concur with that. The first few times I used the Necrophonic, I thought it was great, and then I don't know, just I heard different things, and I started looking deeper into the app as far as the designer of the applications and stuff, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
No.
And you got people like, the guy, I don't know what his name is. I don't want to call anybody out, but he does all those things where he contacts the dead. The guy from Huff Paranormal, whatever his name is.
yes, you just said his name.
I couldn't think of it. What it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of frauds out there, and there's a lot of people that with technology. I mean, there's that Randonautica. Have you ever tried the Randonautica app?
So I have it downloaded. I went to use it one time, and I was on the way to the location, and my phone died. So I assumed there was a reason I wasn't supposed to go there because my phone had a half a battery, so it shouldn't have died.
Okay, that's interesting.
Otherwise than that, no, I've never used it. I have went online and watched a lot of those YouTube videos about people that use it and all the horror stories that they have and whatnot. But I kind of feel like a lot of those are just set up.
Yeah, it's clickbait.
Yeah, it's literally it's there for views. Like a lot of people do with the paranormal stuff on TikTok. They're doing it for views. They don't care about how much it negatively reflects on the field itself.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dakota, you get any questions before the end of the show? We've got about 15 minutes left or something like that.
Certainly never enough time, but honestly, well, what's your thoughts on this? With as much that UFOs are becoming less of a taboo subject and seems the supernatural as a whole is starting to be taken a little bit more serious, say like with incidents like Skinwalker Ranch being closer looked at by officials, things like that, what would be your best piece of advice to people who may just be freshly getting exposed to this type of thing?
Okay, so if you're just getting into it, the best piece of advice is research. Do your due diligence. Trust your instincts. Go to a location and if you feel off, you feel like hey, I should be here, don't stay. That's how you end up with a negative attachment of some form. I'm not going to say it's a demonic attachment because 16 years of investigating
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit there and tell anybody. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. But I have a few negative human scratch. They were able to bite a bit for it.
You're kind of breaking up again, Nat.
Yeah, your mic.
Nate. Your mic's gone. Your mic's. That's weird. That every time you start to talk about UFO subjects, it just starts to go weird.
I know. It's like, see, a second, I just briefly mentioned UFO. Not meaning to be directly at it, but just using it because that's what's going on in the world right now. It started messing up.
The hint to it.
Yeah.
But my best. Yeah. My best advice to any.
Nope.
In hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you talk about UFO subjects. We should need to start calling them something else, when we start calling them turnips or something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Let's see how long we do.
Aliens, nothing like that, right?
Yep. Call them something else. Turnips or something like that.
But I will say, if I had to give advice to anybody, it would be trust your instincts, do your research, do your due diligence before you just head into head to any location.
Yeah.
Your research is going to be where it's at, especially like when I do an investigation, I will go into a place and I sketch the location. I do my baseline readings and I sketch the location just in case there's any kind of hazards, because you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
Oh yeah. I know we've not got much time left, but have you ever had any negative things follow you home?
I have not. Once again, it's one of those things where I take very, very, very strict precautions. I do grounding and centering before I go into an investigation. I do grounding and centering when I come home. So I do multiple different things to kind of help prevent it.
Yeah, I was just asking because I know a lot of people that do go ghost hunting, and sometimes they like to bring back home a house guest.
Oh, it does happen. I've encountered times where people from my team have brought things home. It's just never happened to me personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite strange, isn't it? I can imagine bringing home something. I mean, it's happened to you, Dakotas, is it not? You've brought things home doing
I've purposely brought
investigations.
stuff home because clients have said this thing is creepy. Get it the hell away from me. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Actually, in my garage right over here, I have a creepy clown that was given to me.
Ooh,
Oh,
no, no.
I know
That's
somebody in the
forbidden.
chat who's probably cringing right now.
Yeah, the girlfriend won't let it. Creeps her out.
Do you know something? There's a guy in the chat that is called Mike the Naked Bigfoot, and he would probably love that.
I would love to get his collection.
I
Yeah.
can tell you this. So when my girlfriend was out of town, I did bring the clown inside.
Yeah.
We ran a few different application tests on it because I just wanted to see if it would react on it or whatever. So when I first picked up the clown, it fell out of the case and its foot broke. Its foot's made of ceramic. The only three
Right.
out of the hour and a half when we were testing it with this application, the ghost hunting tools, the only three
Right.
words out were broken foot and sad.
Aw.
Super glue.
I tried super glue. It won't stay together.
Will it not stay together? No. That's.
So I think I'm gonna get some ceramic glue or maybe some epoxy.
That's
epoxy.
probably
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the super glue
I
does
would.
not hold, and it's an old doll too. So
I wouldn't personally have that anywhere near my house. I mean, I would dig a hole and put it in it. Or send it to
nothing.
Dakota.
I've had a possessed doll. What wasn't anything bad. It's just that it was a woman in her. They believed it was a woman in her 30s who passed away in a car accident that somehow got attached to this doll. It was like a personal item or something like that. They sent it to me because they knew I knew how to deal with this type of stuff. Every time I have it sitting on just like a bookshelf or something, just they said it takes a few days for it to start, wanting to react. I go to bed that night, not thinking anything of it. Next thing I know, that damn doll is in the bed with me. And I was just like, whoa.
okay, that's not okay.
Hi.
I just honestly, I think, see these haunted dolls and like Annabelle and all these haunted dolls. I think they should be put on an island somewhere and nuked.
Well, think about Island of Dolls down in Mexico there, Chris. It doesn't work out so well.
That's very true. I think he's froze again.
Whoa,
Damn
Mike said he's got a
CIA,
gay
stop doing it.
clown.
What's that
Oh,
in
Mike-
the chat?
Mike,
I've got a Gracie clown.
Gracie clown print that's haunted. Oh, you're just now sharing this with us, Mike?
Oh my god!
So,
I mean,
Clown doesn't come in the house. In my other
Yeah.
storage shed over there, I have 2 Ouija boards that I got from clients that I keep in there. They don't come in the house either.
ooh, right. That's interesting. I'm actually wondering if it's all these haunted objects that's actually affecting your internet.
Could be.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with this
you
connection,
know,
guys. I'm
because you're
sorry.
talking about this stuff. I think it's all these haunted objects that's actually affecting your internet. Because I've
Oh,
noticed
know-
when Mike
Bust out my good
starts
headphones,
talking about
see if
that
we
stuff,
got
it goes
any
weird.
PPs coming through.
Yeah, because I do have some
Yeah.
other stuff upstairs that I brought home from locations too, and that does stay in the house.
No, I can't touch haunted objects, especially dolls. No.
I've got a piece of like 3/4 inch thick glass from the Medfield State Asylum men's violent ward upstairs.
Oh, now that would be interesting.
Yeah, I once again, I have it in a box that gets blessed once a month, so I don't take it out if I can at all avoid it.
We'll actually need to get you back on the show again, and you
better
can show us all your collection. Wait.
Next
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
yes, next time, maybe I won't be like rushing around all day and just getting home and having to join. I'll actually have time to sit inside and plan this better.
So, everybody in the chat, could you please go to Nate's channel, YouTube, TikTok, and give it a big subscribe? I will soon. And thank you for coming, Nate.
Guys, I appreciate. I'm sorry about the issues, like I said, and I'm sorry that I'm running behind, bud.
It's fine. It's fine. But we'll arrange it. We'll arrange it for you to come back again sometime, and you can show us all these amazing things.
Oh, I'd love to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And honestly, I hope you have a great weekend. I really do. I hope you have a really nice weekend. And are you going to a wedding after this or something? Is it a wedding you're going to?
So I was actually already at the wedding. I'm going to go back, but I'm just
right
because they had nothing there that I liked.
Oh my! Well, I hope you enjoy the wedding. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for coming. And please, everybody, all the links will be below.
Yes.
And
Well,
please,
great talk. I'll see y'all next time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Take care. Catch you later, guys. Bye. So Dakota, that was a very interesting guest, I must admit.
Oh yeah, every now and then we find a good one.
See, at least they came in at the last second, you know. I know. But so everybody in the chat, Mike, it's good to see you, my friend. Sherry, Dobie, who have we all got in there? Because I've not really talked to the people in the chat tonight.
Oh, yeah, Nigel Porter, he came by to say hello. We have Kelly Truce.
Yes.
Let's see.
You know.
Samantha Baker.
We have a very special show tomorrow night, don't we?
We have We have our dear friend Moonblade.
Yes, we'll be getting into the subject of meditation, of your consciousness going into the stars. So that'll be very interesting, won't it, Dakota? I mean, we'll be talking about many interesting people.
That show.
That's a wonder, and it's weird every time you talk about this subject, this happens, you know. I mean, think of the guests that are coming to our show soon. That's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to open up things, you know.
Good thing we're happening. That's probably why he wanted to take some special precautions.
Yeah.
Why he didn't want to use our usual method. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. But I mean, the guests, we've got a special guest coming up, guys, that's absolutely going to blow you all away. But we can't tell you who it is, obviously. Wink, nudge.
Not quite yet.
Yeah.
Because the whole month of October, we're going to have all sorts of fun stuff because it's going to be the first anniversary of the Bald and Bonkers show.
Yes.
We made it through a full fucking year.
Yes, I know. And look how the channels went. We're nearly at 2,000 subscribers. It's grown all the time.
Monetized. We've gotten to meet. We've gotten to meet personal heroes. I mean.
Yeah.
Woo.
I mean, we've got to meet Dave Schrader. If you're watching the new Dave, honestly, amazing guy.
Dave Schrader, Barry Fitzgerald.
Barry Fitzgerald.
I literally started dancing in the middle of my workplace when I found out we were getting him.
Dobby also got.
What about talking about regression sometime?
Oh, we could get Lisa Fry on.
Well, let's not keep this a small circle. I may have some individuals in mind who also deal with regression. You know, we don't want to just stay. Love Lisa to death. Don't get me wrong, but we don't want to necessarily stick with one small circle. We want to make sure everybody feels included here.
Yeah.
Unless you go start drama, then
drama's not allowed. You know. But I must say, thanks to out there for all the amazing people I've got to meet: Dave Schrader, Barry Fitzgerald, Lisa Fry,
Christina Gomez, who's going to be coming back.
Christina Gomez,
Craig Campbell, he's going to be coming back to promote his new book.
I mean, who knows who will be on this show next? I mean, it's mind-boggling.
After who we got for our anniversary.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to open some doors for us.
Yeah, it's going, and there's other famous people out there too. Hopefully soon. And there's Mike, the Naked Bigfoot. He wants to meet Zach Bagans. See Mike, the Naked Bigfoot. There, guys. He loves Zach Bagans. He's always going on about him.
It's
He's
like
like,
we already
do you know
got
something?
Dobby screaming, no! Don't
You
worry.
know what, Mike?
Sherry would like us to
Mike-
get Zach Bagans to do a striptease on
Yeah.
the show.
Oh yes. And she's always talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, how she wants Zach Bagans on. See, it's Mike there. He's always wanted to meet Zach Bagans, haven't you, Mike?
I
And
believe
it's like, you know, I just want to just go and meet him, and I just want to tell him how much I love your museum. You know? Yeah, I bet Mike's sitting there like with his phone shaking.
Like, Mike's just like,
What's this
oh,
for
Sherry,
Mike, the
don't
Naked
give me
Bigfoot?
that. He's a Bagans bunny. Aww.
I am a Bagans, but you know.
God. How have we
What's
not
this?
gotten flagged yet?
I don't know, but it's because we're both handsome guys that do podcasts. You know?
Dobby's wanting Jason Momoa. I don't know. I hear he's into that kind of thing, but
Another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, please go and check us out on Amazon Prime and check us out on
Amazon, iTunes, Spreaker. We have the Bald and Bonkers TV network. We have all sorts of fun stuff. Plenty of places you can catch us.
Yeah.
And plus, like I said, the month of October, we're going to have all sorts of new surprises.
Oh, God. Yeah. Just
to celebrate the fact that we've made it a year.
Yeah. I mean, a lot has happened this year. I mean, this year we've done an amazing job. It makes you wonder where we'll be next year, you know? I mean, Dave Schrader's coming back again at Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming back again to a show again. And who knows who might be with him?
Who knows?
You know?
I know. Sherry's in there screaming, Nick just had a baby not too long ago.
That must have been quite painful for him. I didn't think men could have babies.
Oh, God. You moron.
That's a joke. Oh, my God. Don't believe that.
You moron. Oh, my God. How the hell we managed to make a class?
I'm just saying to Dobby, she says we're doing fantastic. I know the YouTube isn't really seeing many views and stuff, guys, but the podcast is exploding. It's getting out there. We're getting to meet all these amazing people, especially a lot of celebrities that we're friends with on Facebook too, which makes things better.
Yeah, and I will say this. A couple days ago, I did put out a message in our group chat.
Yeah.
Basically, listen, there's probably going to be some changes coming up. Nothing bad, but I will say this. We're hitting such enough high profile that we have had to start talking and dancing around fucking lawyers, which as much of an eye-crossing pain in the ass as it is a sign that we have some very, very big stuff getting ready to come.
Yeah, I mean, especially some of the celebrities. Better control myself. I better not say none. You know, you've got to remember we've got people watching us that don't really comment, and they'll be like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, no, there's a couple people, and I know it's the same two people that think that disliking our videos is going to hurt our feelings.
It actually helps. Did you know that? Did you know disliking a video actually helps you? It actually puts your videos out. You know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize is that when it comes to the dislike button, and this is with Facebook, YouTube, Twitter is starting to implement this as well.
Yes.
Because they want drama on all these platforms.
Yeah.
That the negative thumbs down, dislike, whatever, actually has been shown by the company leaks to give 10 times more potency than positive remarks.
I know. They're actually doing us a favor, you know. Thank you, guys. We love you.
But it is getting to be about time for us to go.
Yes, I know. Because we've got things to do.
You know where to find us. Just Google Bald and Bonkers. We're everywhere.
And I'll tell you what, guys, what we'll do is tomorrow we've got is Moonblade coming on. I nearly said Sling Blade there. You remember the film Sling Blade?
Oh, yeah.
Moonblade coming on tomorrow, guys, and we might give you a clue who's coming on next month. But 2 months away, you know. But we have to be, you know.
Okay.
You know, there's a few people know. Dave Schrader already knows because he watches our
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
So he already
Somebody
knows.
over here is playing Gossip
I could.
Girl.
Come on, I had to ask his advice. You know, I asked his advice because he's interviewed him.
Dude.
You know,
What we got going right now, somehow, it's fucking working.
yeah. I
And
know.
don't worry,
It's
Sherry.
strange.
Nobody's getting fired or anything like that.
Don't you worry.
Just gotta straighten a few things out. That's all.
Yes.
Things you still have your show, Smith Family. Whenever they want to come back for intercourse, I know they mentioned it. They're more than welcome to. The doors are open. Nobody's getting fired.
We'll have a meeting in a couple of weeks or something like that once Dakota's get settled in his new house and stuff like that. But big things are coming to Bald and Bonkers. Big things are coming, and very, very big celebrities are coming to this show, which will change absolutely everything.
Oh, yeah.
And for the people that don't believe us, we were right about Dave Schrader, weren't we? You know? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you all tomorrow night, you know? And I hope you all have a great Saturday night. So, shall we play the trailer, Dakota?
I think it's time we start. Yeah.
Off we
Yeah,
go.
go make for legality, sort of, because you gotta admit, we did kind of go into the sloppy. We weren't exactly sure what we're doing, but there's some people helping us out, and everybody's going to come out stronger in this. So, Sherry, don't worry. And no, we're not going naked, Mike, because only a couple platforms won't take us down. But let's have the trailer play us out before we get too raunchy. Shall we?
See you tomorrow.